guys, Troy here from Cape Ann Conversations, and I've got Kendra Dott with me from Sharon Studios. Kendra, say hi to everybody really quick.
Hello, Gloucester people and beyond.
And beyond. And tell us a little bit about your story, how you got started, the second generation story here. Because if people are watching this online versus just listening to this, Kendra's a photographer, number one, but we have some beautiful photography in here. So come check us out online as well in video to see these because it's fantastic. But tell us the story.
I was forced. Family business, and when I was young, it's been a long time. I like to lie to people and tell them it hasn't been that long, just so they don't think I'm old. It's probably been like 25 years or so. But my mom started photography. We started with a photography business, and as that kind of died out, she was like, we got to start doing something different. So we did portraits, and she started doing portraits. My mom is Sharon Howard. People seem to know her around town. So she would kind of just say, oh, come on, do this wedding. I need help. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to waste my weekends. Yeah. So finally I would do them here and there. And now I'm like, I don't care if I waste my weekends. I like it. So, as I've gotten older, you can do things on the weekdays.
Yeah, exactly. And you're really good at it.
Yeah. So now, I spend a lot of my weekdays doing portraits. I try not to book them on the weekends, portrait part, but because I do have to hold the dates for the weddings. So.
And looking back a little further, you've had your family business has developed. Ooh, look at that pun. Over time too. You guys had double exposure. Yes. Your mom was doing this on film. You're doing this digitally now.
Yeah. So you'd be at a wedding being like, "Oh, I hope I loaded that roll."
Right.
Yeah.
And you would actually your family would develop film.
Yes. Yep.
And it's changed. It's obviously changed a lot now, but
yeah. So we'd run back and develop the negatives to be like, okay, you want to see them to make sure they're, and then we actually had, I think, the first mini lab in the Northeast. Wow. And they used to sell cameras, and they won trips to Japan for selling so many cameras, and so and then so we were, it's the heyday, and then we put the drive-through in. And so we just have people coming through, and it's scary now because I have people coming in being like, oh, you did my, brides and grooms being like, oh, you did my pictures for communion or whatever. Like, oh, oh, you're an adult now.
What a different world too. You'd take a picture, there's no photoshopping that picture.
Back in the day. Now you're you spend more time in Photoshop now, I believe, than you do taking the pictures. For every 1 hour of a wedding that I shoot, I could be spending 4 hours.
Do you just do you feel like the industry just slams out pictures now because they're just like, oh, I don't have to get this perfect. I just have to get this good enough so that I can then Photoshop it later?
You definitely want to, I don't do that because it's sometimes it's just overwhelming with the amount of photos you have. You really just want to get it right in the camera. And as I've gotten older, I've been able to do that. But still, I get excited. So I tend to still take too many pictures.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I got 5 pictures and it looks great, of the couple kissing. And I'm like, all right, I got to make a couple of those black and white because I have a hard time throwing them away.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what if they, maybe I don't think that picture's that great, but then that's the one that they like. Especially if I do my high school senior portrait. I'll be like, oh, that looks, I don't know if I like that picture. And then that's the one they choose, and they'll be like, well, what's your favorite? And I'm like, don't ask me, because clearly the ones I like are not necessarily the ones you like. I like ones when sometimes they're not looking at the camera, and most moms are like, I want one of them smiling, staring straight at the camera. I'm like, to me, that's just, I don't know. It's not as exciting for me.
Looking at
I want them to look like they're
picture.
Modeling or just something more artistic, I guess.
I feel like people went to this, maybe it's out of vogue now, but they went to almost like a candid type
Yes.
picture wanting that.
Yes,
And so
yeah.
it's like you're kind of almost taking like a live
Yes.
photo of
So
people.
people ask that. So sometimes they'll be like, well, I really don't want many formals. I want it to be candid. I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. But a lot of times people don't know how to do candid. And sometimes they look horrible candid.
It looks
so
fake.
I still have to tell them, okay, that's, you might want to not do that.
Yeah.
So you do still have to be guided, even if you want that look. Some people can pull it off, but it's kind of rare.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So today, tell us about the business today. What's your core work? It's senior pictures.
Yes. Portraits, weddings, any sort of event, anything with people in it. Sometimes people will call me at the store and be like, oh, I need some pictures of Gloucester. And I'll be like, I've probably got a bride in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily, I like to, just take pictures of people, animals. Did some really cute Christmas portraits of basset hounds.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was really cute.
So if somebody wanted to book you for a wedding,
Yeah.
though, I mean, we're talking people plan weddings years in advance.
Yeah.
What's this summer already look like for you? Because we're in March now, recording this.
My whole life has to be pre-planned. So I have a daughter who's going to college, and I'm thinking, oh God, I got to check her in. I got to drive her down to South Carolina, and I'm like, I got to block off that week.
Yeah, you can't take pictures that
Because
week.
if I book a wedding, and I didn't block it off, I'd be like, sorry, honey, Dad's taking you.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah. She's like, no, I need a woman. She's like, I can't bring just him. We got to bring like my mom, my grandma.
Exactly.
So.
So this summer is off, maybe for weddings.
Nope. I still have stuff. I tend to still get like people that do last minute stuff, and I kind of like that. I don't need to be booking a year and a half in advance. I feel like that's a little much, but I certainly do it.
Where's your favorite spot to go shoot a wedding? You live in Essex.
Yes.
Your studio, Sharon's studio, is in Gloucester.
Yep. The most popular beach around here would be Wingershik. If you go there, you'll be walking around. There's like 10 photo shoots happening at the same time because everybody wants them at the same time of day.
Yeah.
So you want like the hour before sunset.
The golden hour.
Yeah. I mean, I could still do it other times. It's just easier. And then the other thing too is people will call me like 2 days, 3 days ahead of time, be like, oh, the weather looks bad. I'm like, don't look that. This is like New England. You don't look at the weather 3 days in ahead and start canceling a shoot. So I have weddings or portraits that I do that it starts raining that whole morning. I'm like, this is the best day. Because if it does stop, it's usually the best sky.
Yeah.
Because these beautiful days, there's usually not a cloud in the sky. And next thing you know, I'm in Photoshop dropping a sky into it because it's so boring.
Do you want a gray, like, cloud because there's no shadows? Then?
Yeah. So it's like a filter.
Exactly.
And then you don't get like shadows under your eyes, stuff like that. It's like soft. And then I still bring off-camera lighting with me.
Okay.
So even on a perfect day, I can do a lot of them. So I mix it natural light. And so that's really soft and it looks cool and you get a nice, cool, blurry background. But then I also bring lights and then that's like more dramatic. And then so when I do that, it brightens the person. And then like if there's a cool sky, it intensifies the sky. It's really cool. So it looks really dramatic. So if like you have like a ever so slight sunset, it looks really sunsetty. So like if you kind of wait too long to do a sunset, it's late. You want to do it when it almost doesn't look like one.
Yeah.
Because the lighting, my off-camera lighting makes it look more intense.
That's like we looked at the Northern Lights recently. They've come and you can't see them the same way as you can through a camera.
I know. You
What
feel
is
like
that?
Apple is like,
They're intensifying it.
yeah. They're like, this is like an app. They're like, there's not even any Northern Lights.
No, there's not. They've superimposed
I
it
know.
on my phone.
Yeah, we were taking them. We were like taking selfies of ourselves. I was like, this is so annoying that you can only see it in the phone.
Yeah. What is that? Is there like a
I don't
technical thing?
know. Magic?
I'm gonna Google it later. Hey Siri, tell me this.
Yeah.
Um, so the rest of your day, I'm assuming, is in Photoshop. So if you're shooting a
Yeah.
wedding all weekend,
Yes.
you're Photoshopping all
Yeah,
the time.
I'm all hunched over. Got a special mouse so my hand isn't crippled.
I feel like Photoshop is super intense. Like,
Yeah, because there's so many billion different ways to do something. I know like probably 10% of probably what Photoshop can do.
really?
Yeah.
I don't even try.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've
I just
opened it
stick
before
with
and I'm
the
just
things
like, I
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Is it that hard?
Freaking annoying.
Is it? Okay. They have like,
No, it's just so much.
they have photography in like school now, in like high school. They didn't have that when I was a kid.
We had it. It was just with film.
Yeah.
So now they're just doing digital.
Do you, when you go out to a wedding, do you have a helper with you? Like, do you have another second camera?
When somebody wants a second shooter, I bring a second shooter.
Who's that?
I have a few people that I pull from. I've got Uric down the hallway. I've got a couple other people. So I have a lot of photographers. And then I actually have done it for other people. So like other professional photographers, if I don't have anything going on and they're like, I really need a second shooter, I'm like, sure.
There's probably some other people like from your, like, what about like videography? Do you do videography?
No, that just stresses me out because it just seems like the editing of part of that just is like, I don't want to learn it.
Yeah. I don't think streamography does. We're in the streamography studios here recording this. I don't think that they do weddings, and maybe Isaac will yell at me and correct me if they do it.
I'm sure
but
they would do it for a price.
they
Oh,
do
they do.
weddings. Isaac told me they do weddings. So
Yeah.
there you go. Now you have a
Yeah,
partner.
exactly. If somebody asks, yeah, it just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's different. It's
And you
totally
just sit
different.
there like this the whole time because I watch them.
And one guy can ruin it because he just walks in front of you and stands there.
They have so much going on, they just edit it all out. But yeah.
I made my friend video my wedding.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, that's your gift. You don't have to give me anything if you just stand there with a camera. And it turned out awesome.
Did it?
Yeah.
That's awesome because I hear horror stories and people are like my friend did and they were like, I don't know what I was thinking.
That would be my biggest fear is to like let down a bride with pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
my biggest fear
I
in the whole
want people
world.
to be like, yay, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
That's got to be
like-
your number one
Yeah.
referral source is just like a happy
Word of mouth.
bride.
Yes.
Just telling someone
Absolutely.
else.
Absolutely. I don't advertise. So everything is word of mouth. Yeah. So, and that's what's kind of good, I think, more so with like my seniors, my high school seniors, because they love to post pictures of themselves. So they're more likely to get me more. So I do a lot of certain towns, senior portraits. And all of a sudden now I'm like on the radar of Ipswich, Georgetown, any of that Triton, Mascanoma, you know what I mean? Those schools. So I've been getting a lot of kids and they want to come to Gloucester. I mean, I'll go where they want me to go, but they want to come to Gloucester to get their pictures because we have awesome beaches.
Yep.
But then we have awesome, like sometimes I get like a high school senior portrait where it's kind of like a punk rock kid and he's like, I don't want to go to the beach. I'm like, good, I'm tired of
It's
it.
like I'm going to laser tag to take
Yeah.
my pictures.
Well, that would be cool. I would totally do that. I would do anything. But I had one kid and he's like, oh, I want to go to like the train bridge in Manchester. There's some graffiti. I'm like, I can't imagine the graffiti in Manchester is very good. And took him to Beverly has the free wall.
Yeah.
It's as you can see it as you take the train. It's a huge wall where they allow you to do graffiti. It's freaking awesome and it changes. And we went there and he was like all in his punk rock stuff and there were like spray cans like just littering the ground. And I was like had him holding it and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was like the most fun. And especially for a boy, you know, most boys are just like, and they don't want to, you know, they
My
don't.
mom made me do this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm only here because I don't want to listen to my mom anymore. This kid got into it. It was so cool.
This is kind of a true story, I think, for all of your customers. All of your customers have an idea in their head of what they want to do.
Yes.
But you've done this so much
Yes.
that you can fix all of their bad ideas by if they just listen. If they
Yes.
call you and they're like, "Oh, I want to do this
Yes.
this type of picture," you're like, it's not going to be the one that you want.
Yeah.
I'll take it for you, but
Yeah.
then just
But
do it my way too.
But I try to mix it up, right? So I'm like, smile, don't smile, look at me, don't look at me. You know, because you get some kids that can't not smile, and then some kids that can't smile. Or people, not even kids, anybody, right? Some people just naturally, like I'll be like, don't smile, and they'll be like, and they can't.
Now
they
you
can't.
got a smile picture.
Yeah. I was like, just smile. You know, now at least it's a natural one because you're cracking up.
Right?
So
They're just used to like not listening to their
Yeah.
mom, so they'll just like do the opposite of what you say. You're like, make your bed. They won't make their bed.
they listen. Even like in weddings, you know, that like I'll have like a dad that's like, oh, I don't want to, you know, like the father of the bride, and he's like grumpy, and or they're divorced, and they're like, I don't know how they're going to be together, and they just listen because they're just like they're in a suit and they're just like, yeah, where do I go?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Get me through this.
yeah, exactly. So
You should do. What if? I know this. I don't want to invent things for you, but I just had this idea jump into my head with the senior pictures. There's probably a bunch of kids that don't get senior pictures.
yes,
What if
there
you
are.
just like
like selfies.
set up a date
Yeah, like I do
at
a
Winger
quickie.
Chic? Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're like, just come through here, write
Yeah.
down your email
Yeah.
address, and for $20, I'll
Yeah.
take one picture of you and I'll send it. Put
Yeah.
down your mom's email address. I'll send
Yeah.
it to your mom for
Yeah.
you. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, like a super quickie.
Yeah, I guess then it cannibalizes the rest of the
Yeah.
people. I
Yeah.
bet if you get the oldest child, it's just like, and it goes well, it's just like bing, bang, boom through the next 4.
Yeah. So I do. I get, and like, so like, you know, I'll have like, oh, my friend got her pictures with you. And so that's kind of how it works. But you know what? I always say girls are always much more vocal or whatever. But, you know, a few times I've had boys and they seemed like the kind of kid that was like, I'm really not into this. And then by the end of it, I had this one kid and he was like, that was kind of fun. I was like,
You broke through with him.
and like, I think I saw his mom, and his mom was like, he wants to do it again. I was like, that's awesome.
I don't know what that is. Is that like
Well,
we've ruined it with like social media? Like we've ruined it with like
Well,
phones?
social media has helped me in the sense that a lot of especially the girls, they know how to pose. They're just
Okay.
like, boom, bang. I'm like, all right, well, that was easy. Not all of them, you know, but, and then it's sometimes the girls I don't think are going to make that much of an impact in the photos. I'm like, oh my God, they like photograph so well and look so amazing. And they didn't, you know, maybe they seemed a little bit more like, they're not the type of girls. And it's like amazing how cool they look. So it's really, I feel like really some of my favorite ones.
Not to like lock in, you know, time and pricing, but like, can you talk about pricing? Like sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like people like weddings are going to be expensive, people. I'm just going to say that right now. Like they're not going to be cheap. It's a major undertaking. It's weeks and hours in risk, in travel, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like, can you demystify that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, actually on my website, capeannweddings.com,
That's perfect.
I have my pricing on it. I'm like, I don't, you know, I'm not wasting people's time. I don't, you know what I mean?
They're
I'm
gonna
not
waste
gonna
your
play.
time, too.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna, you know, and it's probably really bad marketing, but it's on there. Like my portraits, like a senior portrait's like an hour. It's like around like $350, $450, depending on. I tend to maybe charge a little extra on the weekend because
You're giving up thousands of dollars.
Exactly. So, yeah.
And you're getting tens of pictures.
Yeah, I give like 400 pictures or something like that. And it's, you know,
Edited.
even if it's an hour shoot, it's probably going to take me at least 5 hours total. So,
Yeah.
and I correct all of them. And they get all of them with no copyright or anything. They could take them to CVS and get 50-cent prints. You know what I
They
mean?
could sell them on Shutterfly if they want
Exactly.
and make the money back.
Yeah. Shutterstock, right?
Shutterstock, yeah.
Yeah.
What about weddings? I mean, that's got to be all over the board.
Yeah, actually, one of the things I feature that other photographers don't, well, I think maybe they do, I don't know. I do it hourly. I have packages, but I also do it hourly. So like if somebody wants 1 hour, I have a price for that. So, like, I get a lot of referrals from Hammond Castle because people tend to want to just do a photo shoot at Hammond Castle for like an hour.
Yeah.
So I do that, and that's fun because that place is difficult in the sense that if you're going to do indoor photos, you need lighting.
Yeah. And
So
you gotta
I
bring
bring,
it.
yeah. So I mean, you can't necessarily be a natural light photographer and do an awesome job in there.
How far do you go?
I'll go anywhere, but I mean, obviously,
Bermuda,
yeah.
especially in the
As long-
winter.
yeah, exactly. I'll go anywhere. It's just you got to be willing to pay for it. I'm not like a super expensive photographer compared to some photographers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cheap, but I'm not the most expensive at all. So maybe somebody who's going to do a destination wedding is probably going to be hiring a really expensive photographer
Right.
if they're willing to pay for them to go.
But you're on the Cape every summer, a couple times, a few times, a bunch of times. Like Cape
The other Cape?
Cod. Yeah.
Okay,
The lesser Cape. Shout out Cape Ann.
Yeah, yeah. I'll go. Yes, I'll go, or New Hampshire, or whatever. But I like to stay around, close by. I mean, but
It's ideal.
yeah, I don't charge. I mean, I would probably after like an hour, I might charge a travel fee. But like my prices, even on my website, are the price. So there's no fee or anything, or taxes or anything. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple and clear.
So if we're talking to the community here now, basically how can they support you? I think this is, vote
me
early,
money.
vote often. Yeah, it's like get in line because people tend to wait, be procrastinators.
I take like deposits for weddings. I don't generally take deposits for portraits because I know that most likely something's going to happen. I'm not going to be like, oh, you canceled on me. I mean, I don't love it, but I'm not going to like keep somebody's deposit like that. So people always say, oh, do you need a deposit? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
So if people want outdoor.
Or I go to their house and do portraits at their house, set my lights up.
With the whole
Because I have a
family on the
studio.
couch.
I have a studio. It's not huge. So if you got a big family, then maybe we'll go to your house. We'll go someplace.
So if somebody wants to do senior pictures.
I love
mean,
them outside. I can do them inside.
It's going to be outside, but I mean, we're talking everybody's going to try to stack this right around graduation in like end of May, beginning of June.
Everybody wants August.
August for senior pictures?
Most schools, they're due in October.
Oh, like if you get
for the following year. So like all these seniors right now, the yearbook's not coming out for another couple months or so. But the yearbook companies kind of want them around October. So
you're really taking your pictures before senior.
Yeah.
So
At least
then
6
you can
months
submit
before.
it into the yearbook.
Yeah, because I gotta lay it out.
That was such a dad comment by me that I didn't know that.
Nobody knows that. Honestly, I take pictures of even the seniors, and they're like, or they just panic call. They're like, "Oh my God, it's due."
Yeah. And
So So I'm always kind of like trying to get people to book like June, July, but then it's not even on their radar that it's due. So.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, August is a great time to be taking outdoor pictures.
Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect.
Right.
I mean, the spring
There's
it
just
can be a
only
little
so
different.
many days, the hour before sunset.
Right.
Right. So I'm kind of limited if everybody wants that time.
That's why we got to set up the picture booth.
Yeah.
One day a year.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah. I don't like to plan. I'm a planner.
I think everybody's a procrastinator.
Yeah.
It's just because we're all doing a lot.
Yeah.
Especially you've got kids. You're
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
how it gets.
I have a senior.
You have a senior.
Yeah.
Try to
She's
take-
like, why haven't you? So sometimes I'll post stuff on social media being like, showing some photos from senior portraits every now and then. I don't do it in the summer because I'm too busy. So now it's like I have more time, so I post it. She's like, why haven't you posted mine? I'm like,
So summer is like, we put up with winter here because of the summer.
I know. And
What
we
is
don't
your,
seem to have tornadoes and wildfires as much.
Earthquakes.
Yeah.
Totally. What's your summer guilty pleasure then? Like, what do you like? Do you get to enjoy it, or are you just working the whole time?
Yeah, I think I just work a lot, but I kind of like it.
But yeah, your work's not like
So,
sitting at a desk cubicle.
Well, in the sense it is, because at my store, 179 Washington Street in Gloucester, which used to be double exposure, call it Sharon Studio now.
Across from George's.
Yeah, across from George's, next to Tony's, next to the cemetery. I don't even know what I was saying.
Your guilty pleasure on what you like to do in the summer.
Yeah. So basically,
It's not a job.
So I have hours that I make sure I'm at the studio. So basically, like, it used to be 9 to 2:30, mother's hours, because I used to just go pick up my daughter. I sit there. Now it's 9:30 because I like to go to the gym, and my friend talks too much, so I only get there at like 9:30, even though it says 9 on the door. So people come and go. They drop off. So I still have the remnants of the photo studio, of the camera store, in the sense that I have lots of customers that still come in, will give me photos and have me scan them or touch them up or things like that. I also do custom framing. So that's a little side gig, or it's not a side gig, it's normal. And then I also do passport photos and stuff like that. So I get a lot of people from out of state that will come to get passport photos for like Canada, Australia, Ireland, because those 3 countries are extremely strict with how the photos need to be taken.
Can't be
so
at
I have my
CVS.
studio. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're just wasting your time
Yeah.
if you have one of those and you go to a place like that. They want a certain printer. They need certain lighting. They need exact measurements. So it's like a process. So now I'm like doing them all the time.
Can we quickly before we wrap today? I want to shout out your real side gig too.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
Yeah, my friend Marianne's restaurant bar in Manchester by the Sea, Boo Bird. So when I don't have anything to do, or if I'm procrastinating in my own life, I go and work there with her, and I never see my family.
And you just have a hoot of a time over there.
Oh my God!
We love Boo Bird.
Yeah.
My son. That might be my son's favorite cheeseburger on the North Shore.
It's awesome, and they have games for the kids, so that's really cute.
Yeah, they always theme decorate.
Yeah.
For Halloween or whatever.
To prepare for this thing, my friend made me do a Jameson shot last night with a pickle juice chaser.
There you go, pickleback.
Ooh,
they call
so
that,
gross.
I think.
Yes.
That is pretty
I was
gross.
like, why are we doing this? I have to get up early.
You're in here hungover right now. This is awesome. That's a good thing to do in the winter, though. If it's fun. That's become, since they've taken that over. I forget the name of what it was before.
Black Arrow.
Yeah, it really has injected a little new life into that restaurant. I feel like because she runs it, but she knows everyone in town.
Oh yeah.
And so it's turned into like a friend factory in there.
Yes, yeah. You go in and you're just like, hey.
Everybody's like that.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knows everybody. It's fun and it's pretty laid
So
back.
people will see me and be like confused. They're like, why do I know you? Because I'll be like, yeah, I work at, I have a real job.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
It seems like your theme is like, I
social.
do work, but but I'm doing it in a fun way.
Yes. And I enjoy myself at my store.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm watching, I'd be listening to a podcast, while I'm correcting or whatever, my photos, I got it all going on. And usually I know most of the people that come in.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if you guys are still with us and still listening to this, it's Kendra Dott, Sharon Studios out of Gloucester.
Yep.
Book early, book often for senior photos, for
Yes.
weddings, for maternity photos, any of these, and go say hey at Boo Bird.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Stare.
Exactly.